Hey everybody, it's Grant, and today I'm actually going to be bringing you along where I got a great business opportunity that's pretty interesting. So I was offered 2 main squeezes for the price of about 1/3 of what they would cost to build. Right now, a main squeeze costs about $500,000 plus a little bit here and there to build them, so call it $1 million. And I was offered these for $300,000. So if you like business, if you like saving money, you like good deals, this video is for you. So in any business deal, you want to weigh the positives, you want to weigh the negatives, you want to know if I'm going to be taking all this extra work on, these extra employees, is it going to be worth it? Well, let's get into that in just a few simple steps. So the first step is you want to factor in, is the deal solid? So for example, both these main squeezes cost $500,000 to build at absolute minimum these days. So that's $1 million with the build out, the equipment, the signage, all the food that you're going to go ahead and start processing, some payroll, all the above to actually get started. It's about the entry point. In order for me to say $1 million valuation on cost to build them, and I'm gonna be able to buy it for $300,000, that's $700,000 to the good if they're gonna be profitable. So that takes me to step 2. What am I buying? So Katy, Texas and Fulshear, Texas are actually what's actually available in this purchase. Katy, Texas's store is the second longest running store in Main Squeeze's franchise. It is actually available to me now, and I'm very, very excited about this because it runs the same numbers, if not better, if not just a little bit worse, than my Sugar Land location, which that one is #1 and #2, depending on how Katy does in Texas. This would allow me to have the #1 and #2 store in Texas and kind of just consume my competition. So the other store, Fulshear. Fulshear's been open for about 1.5 years. It's been struggling. They have had employee problems, they've had management problems, they've had traffic problems, and now they have some road construction. So this brings me to my biggest issue in this entire deal, which is going to be, is it worth it to own Katy? Yes. But does Fulshear bring that down to a negative? The deal's solid, the location for Katy's solid, Fulshear's a huge concern. So that brings me into step 3. What all am I gonna get for actually owning this business? I am getting a turnkey buying and purchasing of assets, all the equipment, all the signs, all the build outs, the leases that come with it, and all of the other things. So there's not a catch in this deal. There's not something that I'm missing besides Fulshear, the road construction, and the lack of sales and what's been going on as far as that. Step 3 on this process is going to be the history of the deal, or any facts that you have, or the understanding of this actual company. So I have a pretty good understanding of Main Squeeze. I own 2 of them. I just now finished my second one, and that one, I mean, you know, we still have a lot of things going on. Like, is it going to be successful? I really hope so. We are in no sales November at the time of me actually looking at these projects, which you'll probably see this video in December or January, because I got to make sure I work out all the kinks. Don't want to jump into anything too fast. But Main Squeeze's history with me, pretty solid. So he's offered me Katy by itself for $1 million many times. He has a very large net worth, probably worth over $100 million. I don't really know why he ever got into Main Squeeze as far as owning juice shops, but he did. He has enjoyed his time with it, but he has become more and more frustrated over time because of the simple fact that he just really doesn't need to be running juice shops. Neither do I, but at the same time, he's worth 100 and I'm not. So I don't know why he ever did it, and he doesn't know why I ever did it. So it's kind of a thing there. This brings us to step 4, which is going to be, why are they selling? And I touched on that in step 3. They're having a rough relationship, so the value of him getting out, him removing himself from this issue, is way more valuable to him than for him to actually stay in, run the business, deal with employees, and be stressed out. So that $1 million for 1 store turns into $300,000 for 2, and here's the main reason why. They actually bought Fulshear, and they spent $250,000 on Fulshear to kind of, it's 3 miles away from Katy. They wanted to kind of combine that license. They wanted to make sure that they own their own territory, and it was not doing so well. It has been a store where, you know, been getting 60 customers, where my store gets 90 to 110 per day. It needs a little bit more work, something I don't think he was quite ready for, and his employees started giving him a bit harder time, and him being the strong individual he is, he shut the doors. So I am buying something that the reason him selling is he is very stressed out about the process of owning a store that was not doing so well, along with the process of just employees and everything else built up, his relationship with corporate, and he decided it's time to either shut the doors or sell it off for a very, very good, appealing deal to sell it fast. Step 5, huge one, obstacles and the upside. So my obstacles are going to be pretty simple. I have a store that is currently closed. I will have to rehire an entire staff, or at least go through the people that were working there if they want to return with new ownership to go back to their happy days at Main Squeaks. Also, I'm going to have to deal with a store that has very low volume, and it's been not doing well for about 1.5 years. It's not a brand new store. The other side of that coin is there's a lot of road construction. So is this fixable would be a huge thing on upside, and everything leans towards the negative on Fulshear versus the positive side of Katy. The upside, pretty simple, great deal, awesome value, ton of equipment, which I'm buying the properties for, not the properties, but I'm buying the businesses that are renting. There's no building with these, but I am buying these for the equipment cost, which is pretty solid to me. And the upside would be Katy does about $100,000 to $80,000 in profit a year running the way he runs things. And I personally think that we're going to be able to, you know, maximize that. Once again, the biggest thing is, can we overcome the issues with Fulshear? Do I want to have this many more employees? So many questions pop up. Step 6 is probably the most important. You know, you can hear somebody's opinions, you can hear other people's opinions, you can look at the data, you can look at the numbers, but you need to spend some time getting to know the areas that you're planning on either putting a business, taking over a business, or whatever involving that business, and you need to spend some time. So as of right now, I'm doing that exact same thing. I am circling the Hobby Lobby, the Elmer's Swim School, and Hands Liquor, yeah. So Hands Liquor, yeah. So I'm circling the parking lot. It's huge. It's an HEB parking center, very, very nice shopping center, and there's a ton of business. There's a lot of traffic. I can see why Katy does very well, and the parking's tight. It's not the most ideal building. It is a standalone store, which is really nice, but then I'm going to be going to Fulshear pretty soon as well, and I'm very excited to see that one, and hopefully that road construction is not as bad. Another tip, never get emotionally attached. I refuse to. I will never get emotionally attached to a deal, because that's the day you pay too much. So as you can see with that beautiful montage of an empty store, Fulshear has its share of problems. But on a positive side, there's a ton of space. There's a ton of places for improvement. There's some things that need to be adjusted, and it leaves me with another just, can we do it? I think so. So this part is just looking at the area of Fulshear, all the potential that's there. We're driving around it right now, checking it out, and I really do see a ton of growth here. It's actually booming. Bella said the same, and yeah, so I think the area is great. I think the store is a little shocking, but there's still be more to be desired for that. So let's go into step 7. Step 7, negotiate. So let me tell you how this deal has gone. It went from originally $1 million for one of these stores, where this other store still has some type of value in some way, shape, or form, even with all the work that's there. So he has come down to $750,000 for just the one store last year, and then now he is all the way down to $300,000 for 2 stores, one successful, one he paid $250,000 for, and it comes with an additional franchise as well if I want to build a 3rd store in that area. And then now he offered me just the other day $500,000 for this store and Katy. So for Fulshear and Katy, it would be $500,000. And after one quick phone call, I got him down to $300,000. Will there be more negotiations? I think so. Will he come off that $300,000? I don't think so, because he said that was rock bottom. I will offer him an all-cash offer and see what will happen, but ultimately it's a solid deal. Buying it for 1/3 of the cost to build 2. Yeah, there's a project, there's a problem, there's a lot of issues, there's a lot of upside. Hopefully it all works out. So stay tuned for if I buy them, and I hope you guys got a lot of this video. I hope you guys got to see the insight into buying a business, and one failing and one doing great, and hopefully it just truly helps you in your future endeavors and this one. See you guys later. I 100% believe in you, and see you on the next one.